Congressman Ron Dellums, and many of them led the struggle to pass a bill in the U.S. Congress about the divestiture of South Africa. And this was during a time when Ronald Reagan was President of the United States. The bill passed in the House overwhelmingly. And as it went past the House and the Senate, it went to Reagan's desk and he vetoed the bill. The fantastic thing about this was that Bill Gray, who was the chair of the Budget Committee at that time, Ron Dellums, and the Congressional Black Caucus led the struggle and overrode the President of the United States veto. That's how we got the law over here. So the phenomenal collaboration and organizing the House and the Senate, bipartisan vote was really successful. At the same time, David P. Richardson Jr. in 1985 became president of the National Black Caucus of State Legislators. And during his tenure there, they developed legislation that modeled the federal legislation, and we had major legislatures across the United States use that as a draft and pass their own bills in the House and legislatures, as also city councils throughout the United States. It became a model. So Bill Gray became very phenomenal leaders in the anti-apartheid struggle. And then by that time, we were engaged deeply with the African National Congress. And some of you may remember in the early days, this was during Wilson Good's administration as mayor. We were able to have many people from the ANC come to work in the city of Philadelphia. That's what I mean. This guy. That was in South Africa. They came, they worked in various offices, learned the process of governance, and we had a fantastic struggle. And of course, Godfrey was the leader of the ANC here in Philadelphia, and we continue to work and learn. I always add that part of learning, because the struggle that was a major part of our struggle. There were so many things that you may remember in the 80s we were fighting here in Philadelphia. People like Dave, Ed Robinson, and people continued these struggles for us and educating us being in the city at large about things we do. But we were blessed because we had the audacity to believe that we were young leaders during those days, and they helped us to understand not only our responsibility to help to lead us in various things. I can tell you more about I have one more to tell you about, but I want to digress for a minute, because just recently one of our other great leaders, I know everybody knows he's great, but I can tell you some things that he's done that probably nobody's written about it yet, but that's the great Dr. Walter Lomax. We call him Buddy. He's one of the great leaders. I don't know how many millions of dollars he and his family have spent on supporting almost every cause that we have had in Philadelphia, from the African American Museum to WRD radio station, newspapers, you name it. And he and his family has been there to support us, not just in word, but in deed, and to help pay the bill for many of us. And WRD is still on the way. I don't even know if WRD they didn't make it any money, but the point is that he was such a great leader, and his life intersects almost every element of the struggle that I know of myself, whether it's funded it. I can remember when the great Martin Luther King came, Bobby treated Martin Luther King, whenever we were the struggle, he was there for us. So, Kenny, we got to get some of you young guys to write this history, man. You know what? You guys lived it. You guys lived it, and there's so much undone here in Philadelphia, but so much has been accomplished by Philadelphia throughout history. Yeah. So the last person I will mention, and not the last person in the struggle, but the last person I will mention, of course, was the great former Congressman Lucien Blackwell. Lucien went into the Congress after Bill Gray did, and Lucien continued that struggle there. In fact, for the work, based upon the work that Lucien did, later going into the anti-apartheid struggle, divestiture, he actually visited not only South Africa, but Guinea, many other countries. And his work was so profound and prominent when Nelson Mandela was released from prison after Los Angeles. Philadelphia was the second city he visited, and Lucien was there, were able to bring him. So again, we have a long Philadelphia.
Amen.
Many of you were here. I was a young guy then, kind of grew up. Many of you were here helping us to understand not only our responsibility, but I'm saying people aren't they? There were some people who I didn't even know were revolutionaries. It turned out they turned up for this struggle and helped us. So I want to thank all of you publicly, friends and family for this great day, because this man himself was such a wonderful leader, calm. Now I think Barack Obama must have read Nelson Mandela's stuff. He has that same kind of demeanor, you know what I mean? I don't know how he could do it, but the opportunity to not only to lead for Nelson Mandela, not only to lead the nation, but to recognize the importance of humanity. I mean, you can go to India, you can go to any place on the planet, and this man is well known. His contribution to humanity, to society, not only as a freedom fighter, but against all forms of injustice. He stood for it and he spoke to it. And so he has become, really in my lifetime, I've been able to see it, loved it, appreciated it, cried, you know, and learned so much more out of it. So I want to thank you for your time, and thank your wife for letting me take the time to do this, because sometimes, you know, it's not easy, but we want to appreciate you, and I'm here for you anytime.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Stand for the chair of the Harris Commission on Africa, which is here at the Nelson Mandela celebration.
Moving along the program.